I'm Rebecca Davis, a weird, scary, and interesting. Today's topic we're going to be talking about is famous Black Canadians. Since it is Black History Month, I thought it would be nice to learn about some famous Black Canadians that had an impact on Canadian history. Okay, let's get into it. Number one, is Lincoln Alexander. Lincoln Alexander is famous for being a leading figure in the fight for racial equality in Canada, in provincial, federal, and public and private roles. He constantly advocated for equal treatment for Black Canadians. Sound like a great man to kick off the help fight for Blacks' rights in Canada. Okay, let's continue on to number two. Rosemary Brown. Rosemary Brown is famous for being the first Black female member of a provincial legislature and the first woman to run for leadership for federal political party. So she kicked open the door for both Black women and women entirely to be involved in politics and to run for a politics for a political party. That's good. Number three. We're moving on to number three for Devon Bailey. Devon Bailey is famous for setting the 100-meter world record at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics, running at the time of 9.84 seconds to become the world's fastest man. A week later, Bailey conquered the 4x100-meter rally team to another gold medal. That's good for him and his team. Okay, we're moving on to number four. To Elijah McCoy. Elijah McCoy Elijah McCoy is famous for being the inventor of the lubricating oil cup. The railroad steam engines to be lubricated without stopping the train, saving time and money. So that was a very awesome invention that Elijah had invented. So we're moving on to number 5, to Viola Dempston. Viola Dempston is famous for confronting the racism that African Nova Scotians routinely faced during the segregation period of Canada's history in 1946, when she refused to move from her seat in the whites-only section of Roseland Theatre. She was arrested, fined, jailed, and dragged out of the theater for her refusing to leave a segregated section of the Roseland Theatre in New Glasgow, Nova Scotia. Viola appealed her case to the Supreme Court of Nova Scotia, but it was unsuccessful. But that did not stop her from keeping up fighting for civil rights for the Black Canadians in Canada. While she had a cosmopolitan and started her, she was cosmopolitan, and started her own beauty product line. Viola Dempston had gotten a postmortem pardon 64 years later from Nova Scotia's government in 2010. In 2016, Viola became the first Canadian woman to appear on a Canadian banknote. And for a little note on Viola Dempston, or for anybody that's never seen this, doesn't live in Canada, our country has a thing called a Heritage Minute, and she has her own Heritage Minute. So if you want to, it is on YouTube, so you can go check it out. And it shows right there how the whole scene played out of her refusing to leave the theater, and because of her race, at the time it was segregated time, and and they lied and said it was because she didn't pay the theater tax, but she smart enough to figure out it wasn't that, it was race. So she was a great woman to fight for rights for the blacks in our country. She was in the Heritage Minute of Viola Dempson. Okay. We'll move on to number 6. To Jane Augustine. Jane Augustine is famous for being the first Black Canadian woman to serve as a federal minister of the Crown and the Member of Parliament. Jean brought the motion to recognize February as Black History Month to the House of Commons in 1995. Awesome. That she help kick off Black History Month back in the 90s. Okay, let's move on to number 7. To Mary Ann Shadd. Mary Ann Shadd is famous for being the first Black female newspaper publisher in North America. Mary Ann Shadd was an African American activist and journalist and teacher and lawyer who was the leader in the absolutist and women's suffrage movements in 1878. With Mary Ann Shadd's leadership helped activate for the 15th Amendment, which granted African American men the right to vote. Mary Ann Shadd was a Black Canadian who was involved with the Underground Railroad. Yeah, because if you learn in the history of the Underground Railroad, and that stretched from the United States to my country, Canada. And it helped move a lot of slaves out of freedom from slavery. So she helped. This woman was a very great woman by the sounds of it, that she helped Black men and women healthy to get, and also slaves to be free. Great part. She was a great part of our history. Okay, let's move on to number 8, to Portia White. This one. Portia White. Portia White is famous for being the first Black Canadian concert singer to win international acclaim. Porta, was known for her performances of classical European music, African American spirituals. Porta was considered one of the best classical singers of the 20th century. Her voice was described by one critic as a gift from God, from heaven. She was often compared to the celebrated African American, hopefully I get this word right, Conchatal Brannon Anderson. Hopefully I got that first name right. Brandon Anderson, yeah. Okay. Awesome. Sound like a lovely singer. Let's move on to number 9. To Ann Coles. Ann Coles is famous for being a retired senator and longest serving member of the Senate of Canada. As a social worker, Coles was a pioneer in protection of women from domestic violence, running one of the first domestic violence shelters in Canada. Somebody has to protect those women. Yeah. Now we know who started the violent shelter, domestic violence shelters for women. Was Ann Coles. We can thank her for that. Okay, let's move on to number 10. To get this name right, Michelle Jean. Michelle Jean is famous for being a Canadian former journalist who served as the 27th Governor General of Canada from 2005 to 2010. She is the first Haitian Canadian. And black person to hold this office. Jean was the third Secretary General of organization International de la Francophone from 2015 and 2019. Another woman that opened doors for people. Okay. Let's move on to number 11. The Violet King Henry. Violet King Henry is famous for being the first black woman lawyer in Canada. The first black person to graduate law in Alberta. And the first black person to be admitted to the Alberta bar. She was also first woman named to a senator management position with the American National YMCA. She sounds like an awesome woman. She just moved on, kept on opening, kept on, I'm trying to think of the word, unless nothing stopped her from fulfilling her dreams. That's what I'm trying to think. Go for it. And plus also, she's another woman that helped open a lot of doors to a lot of people. That wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for her and the other people that are in this list. Okay, let's move on to number 12. William Hall. William Hall is famous for being the first black person Nova Scotian and third Canadian to receive the British Empire's highest award for bravery, and the Victoria Cross for his bravery fighting in Lucknow in 1857. He's a war hero. It's awesome that he ended up getting some awards for his bravery in fighting in a war in the 18th century. Awesome. Okay. Let's move on to number 13, to Willie O'Ree. Willie O'Ree is famous for being the first black player to play in the NHL. There you go, if you're hockey fans. And playing for the Boston Bruins from 1957 to 1958. And from 1960 to 1961. Willie was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2000. 2018. Willie won the Lester Patrick Trophy. Lester Patrick Trophy in 2003. Willie wrote the autobiography of Willie O'Ree, hockey's black pioneer. In 2000, the NHL has presented the Willie O'Ree Community Hero Award since 2017 to 18 season. Awesome. Got his own award named after itself. He's another one that helped open doors for black people to do what wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for him and the other ones before him. Okay, let's move on to number 14. Adam Paris. Amanda Paris. Amanda Paris is famous for being an award-winning writer and producer and TV/radio host. Amanda is the creator and former host of the popular R&B show Marvin's Room. She was also the first. She was also the host of several television art series, including CBC Arts Exhibitions, The Filmmakers, and From the Vaults. There. Awesome. She did so much in entertainment. Okay, let's move on to number 15. To Anderson Ruffin Abbott. Anderson Ruffin Abbott is famous for being Canada's first black-born to be licensed as a physician. His career involved in prescribing precision in the American Civil War. Significant roles including coroner of Kent County, Ontario, and surgeon in chief. Okay. Another one that opened up some doors for the black community. Okay, let's move on to number 16. Barbara Howard. Barbara Howard is famous for being one of the fastest female sprinters in the British Empire. The first black female athlete to represent Canada. She qualified for the 1938 British Empire Games. As a 17-year-old high school student, running the 100-yard dash in 11.2 seconds and 1/10 of a second faster than the game's record. So by the sounds of it, what I just read to you, she broke that record. So, good for her. Okay, we'll move on to number 17, to Carmen Davis. Carmen Davis is famous for being a student that was activist from Ontario. In 2020, he spoke at the Black Lives Matter protest, addressing the stresses he faced just trying to be a kid. The speech later went viral. Don't you love how social media is it gives great impact, and his speech was heard a lot since it went viral. Who doesn't remember the Black Lives Matter back in 2020? 2020 is pretty crazy. But, okay. Good for him, a kid from that was still going to school, helping out the Black Lives Matter movement. Let's move on while my roommate tries to talk to me, which this could be interesting. Oh, that's what you want. She wants water after I'm done working. I can do it. Okay. We'll move on to number 18. To Charles Lightfoot Roman. Charles Lightfoot Roman is famous for being a recognized expert in hopefully I get this word right. Brace with me. Occupational medicine. Occupational medicine, that's what it is. Occupational medicine, Charles Lightfoot Roman was also one of the first Black Canadians to graduate from McGill's Faculty of Medicine at the university, and one of the first Black Canadians to enlist in the military service in World War One. At the number 3. That's good. That's good that he opened up the door so the black community can have a chance if they want to enlist in the army, in the Canadian military. And he had a pretty good, by the looks of it, medical career too. Oh. Okay, let's move on to number 19. Charles Roach. Charles Roach is famous for being a civil rights lawyer. Civil rights lawyer. An activist in Toronto. And one of the founders of the city's famous Kynecari Branda Festival. Kynecari Festivals. Yeah. He was perhaps the most famous for his advocacy for the right for would-be Canadians to opt the citizenship without swearing oath to the Queen at the time he did this. Because now he don't got a queen as the king. Okay. So he was a great activist and civil rights leader. Lawyer, Okay, we're moving on to number 20. To Desmond Cole. Desmond Cole is famous for being an activist and freelance journalist in Toronto. Desmond Cole came to brace with me, I have to take time to pronounce this. Prominency in 2015 on the strength of an article in Toronto Life magazine which detailed the racist practices of the Toronto police. It detailed all the times Desmond Cole had been carded by the cops. He put it out there that there's some problems there. He helped with that article. It helped more of the civil rights movement. Okay, and moving on to 2021. Eleanor Collins. Eleanor Collins is famous for being a jazz singer. Not only is she the first black artist in North America to host a national weekly television series, but also I think my phone just heard me again. Anyways, let's get back to this woman. But also the recipient of many awards and honors locally and nationally and internationally. Honestly, go girl. She had it going for her. Okay, let's move on to number 22. But before we move on to number 22, I think I should charge my phone. Otherwise, it may be hard to read the script. Okay, now definitely we're going to move on to number 22, and it's Harry Dromain. Harry Dromain is famous for being a Canadian track and field star sprinter, physical education teacher, a 3-time Olympian, and a social activist He won a bronze medal at the 1964 Olympics in Tokyo, Japan, and set a total of 7 world records over the course of his career. There's another one she had it going for him. His career was going pretty good for him. Okay. We're almost done, but we got 2 left on this list, and so we're gonna move on to number 23, and it's Herb Korinji. Herb Korinji is famous for being a Canadian hockey player to never play in the NHL, and philanthropist philanthropist in 1940 to 1950s. Got a couple of hockey players, but one played in the NHL and one didn't. But I read about Herb that he wanted to play for his favorite hockey team, but he never got a chance to get to the big times. Okay. Now we are moving on to our final famous black Canadian. At number 24. And I'm sorry if I screw up this person's name, but I'm just trying. And this person is Jana Aracon. Jana Aracon is famous for being co-founded the Black Lives Matter movement in Toronto and international ambassador for the Black Lives Matter. Analyzing industrial topics, Kahn's work analyzes industrial topics such as black feminist, queer theory, the Black Lives Movement, raising awareness of the LGBTQ plus issues. Kahn's work seeks to increase visibility of the LGBTQ plus issues within the Black Lives Matter movement, educating about social justice. Kahn leads discussions about social justice, equality, and systemic racism, inspiring others to fight for justice. Kahn's work inspires others to fight for freedom, justice, and libertation. Liberty. Yeah. So there you go. There's another one, woman. There you go. This is the woman that helped kicked off the whole Black Lives Matter movement. We all remember that from the crazy 2020s. 2020. That happened five years ago. Yeah. So yeah. We can thank all of these people that you learned about today on this video, this episode, from a little part of our Canadian history. 24 people out of this whole episode to help push Canadian history forward in the African Canadian community. So, you know the drill. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment. And don't forget to learn about a lot more Black people that are from our world history. Because there's a lot of famous Black people that have helped through history, help get open the doors for a lot of people and make the world try to make the world a lot more better. So I hope you enjoy this video. So for now, till I'm thinking of making another video on Friday, since on Friday is Valentine's Day. So till then, goodbye.